A humid and wet day in Fontaine as everyone in the nation is mourning their Archon getting NTR'd. Is FURINA still having her place in the meta? Is Raiden finally coming to Fontaine and say to FURINA, hey, it is your turn to have your butt kicked down a notch now, just like me? Well, that's what we're gonna find out today! The phase 2 of 5.4. Let's talk about the banners, and then we can talk about the FURINA situation in the game right now. The Cryo prison has now officially been unleashed. Alongside with the warden, that is Wriothesley, all the Cryo inmates are now back into the world of Teva. The people have been asking for it. Now they can rejoice in a Cryo banner with Agent FURINA sneaking in. But how good is it? Mika is an extremely niche support for physical. While he is good in what he's doing, we do not really have a good physical DPS right now, so Mika's value is really low. What we have is Eula and FURINA. Jongyun, his value right now is mostly in meme teams where we want to use the Cryo infusion mechanic of him. Finally, Charlotte. A lot of people has been asking for Charlotte as a healer for FURINA. Charlotte has an inherent problem in her character kit. Her healing is good, but in order to get to her healing, we have to do a lot. This is her energy recharge situation. 275. Oh wait, what's more? I am actually using 2-piece scroll of the Hero of Synchronicity in this team, where a lot of nice burst happens to refund her even more energy. I also have her C4, which refunds her more energy. Looks like Farazan? Yes, indeed. Holy crap. That is for Favonius as well. So she requires as much energy recharge as Faruzan, but she does not offer as much as Faruzan. Of course, if you're gonna use Charlotte in a team with 2 Cryo characters, then her ER problem lessens. Let me double check on the ER situation in a different tool. Charlotte, Silonen. Yeah, this is not even funny. This is not even funny. Using Favonius, her energy recharge situation can reach 330%. Okay, let's try to put in the 2-piece scroll set, and let's say it triggers 3 times in this rotation. Now it's manageable. 255. Holy crap, I can't. So if you like Charlotte, you can still pull for Charlotte. Same goes with any of these 4-star. If you like Mika, if you like Jongyun, you can pull for them. Be ready to deal with their respective jankiness when you want to play them in the team. It can be solved, yes. It's just something that we have to deal with. Simplified answer, cool. Cryo banner! I'm sorry. Alright, Wriothesley, how good is he? So Wriothesley got a recent boost with Mavuika release, right? Not really. Mostly because it's gonna be the same situation with Mualani. I'm gonna draw a comparison here. So when we are in a team Mualani, we can use Xiangling to apply a shit ton of pyro on the enemy, and then Mualani can hit the enemies more often. Mualani can also slot in another Hydro character to buff her. But when we use Mavuika instead of Xiangling, even though she buffs more, she applies pyro less often. That means Mualani cannot hit as fast as before anymore, and also the support option for Mualani will be a little bit more limited. The same thing's gonna be happening for Wriothesley. In terms of Wriothesley though, when Wriothesley is using Xiangling, he can use a higher ceiling combo and 3 charge, 3 normal attack and a charge attack. When he's using Mavuika, he has to use a N5 charge, 5 normal attack and a charge attack. All in all, it's not that big of an increase for Wriothesley in terms of meta after Mavuika release. You can play a funny team like Wriothesley Driver applying Cryo a lot for Mavuika to melt from off-field, with Citlali also in team, but in terms of top tier DPS, he's not. He is at a comfortable position in terms of the DPS that you can play him, you can reasonably build him to clear the abyss. There will be some abyss that he struggles, but I think he is still in a decent enough position that you can pull him and not have to try hard too much. We're gonna come back to FURINA. Save the main dish for the last. Let's look at this banner, the weapon banner, because it's gonna be pretty easy to describe the banner. Wriothesley weapon's pretty good on him. I cannot really say how much this weapon is an increase over 4-star weapon options like Whipset, R5, but I can tell you that FURINA's weapon is usually not worth it to pull for. Simply because FURINA would prefer to use Favonius only in case where she is used in a double Hydro team, like Yelan FURINA, Xingqiu FURINA, Novelet FURINA, can she use her signature weapon. So if you don't frequently use these kind of teams, then signature weapon will be really copium for her. If I use FURINA in a team like this, then I would need to swap in Favonius for her to function. And if you want vertical investment on FURINA, all of her constellation are so good that they are a heavy contender for pulling her weapon. This constellation helps her gain fanfare at the beginning a little bit faster. Well, not a little bit, a lot faster. And increase the maximum buffing she can do. C2 makes she gains fanfare even faster. And when we reach the ceiling of the fanfare, she's now gonna increase her HP and therefore increase her damage. C3 is increasing her burst level, which further increase her buffing. All of her C1, C2, C3 are really good. I have her C1 in my main account, and I may be considering pulling her C2. We'll see. Any questions so far, Jan? Can confirm you love FURINA constellation. Nice. Usually, I think in the community, it is recommended to get at least her C4 before you get her weapon, because her C4 is a constellation that refunds energy and helps her with the ER situation, and then we can get her weapon. So we can use the weapon in most situations. And then, even then, okay, even then. Many people would also say that the Nilu's paddle, for the life of me, I cannot recall what that weapon name is. Oh, Key, okay. Key of Kasnisha. There we go. Thank you, Google, for helping me out. The Nilu's paddle is more of a signature, FURINA signature than FURINA's own signature in the game, because FURINA's kit is mostly about buffing others, and this weapon is going in line with that. It's giving FURINA HP percentage as a substat, and it is giving other characters in the team elemental mastery. So arguably, this weapon is rivaling FURINA's signature. FURINA's signature obviously gonna increase her personal damage, but this weapon is just increasing the whole team's damage as well. If you use FURINA's in team like Vaporizing team or Alhatem's spread team, any kind of Aravet team, any kind of Hyper Bloom related team, then this weapon is also good. Something to consider. You reminded about Key, and now I'm doing 450,000 charge attack. Yeah, this is a really good weapon. Alright, nice. If you squint really hard, you may see one single gem out of this pile of garbage. That is 4-star weapon. It is Favonius sword. It is almost like a consolation prize when you're pulling for FURINA weapon, and then you don't get the thing, but you get the better FURINA weapon. That is Favonius. Don't pull on this weapon banner for any 4-star unless you're desperate for Favonius sword, which could be true for some account. I can see that, but I expect the chance of having Favonius to be low. Go in here with a mindset of the odd is being against us, and have that expectation in mind. This bow is absolutely useless on anyone other than Yoimiya and maybe Chai Tataglia. He's not even that good on him. Dragon's Bane is good on Raiden Hyper Bloom, sometimes good on Xiangling if she has enough energy recharge, and at Refinement 5 it's also good on Hu Tao as a copium option weapon, because it gives elemental mastery and it gives damage bonus when hitting an enemy affected by Hydro, which Hu Tao likes to do. Assault Great Sword, not really great on anyone other than say Deya. Favonius Great Sword is just strictly better. This weapon, it is a shame that they are not giving it whiff sit on this banner, because people are pulling for Wriothesley weapon and may be able to get whiff sit refinement. It's a shame. This weapon is not good on Wriothesley. It's good on Nahida. It's good on Barbara in a Bloom team. It's good on Kokomi in a Bloom team. That's pretty much it. Alright, perfect segue for us to talk about FURINA. Perfect segue. We have avoided offending anyone up until this point. We state things that are facts until this point. So let's talk about the controversial thing. Okay, FURINA, how good is she? Is she still holding the throne of the meta, or all of her good teammates are getting NTR'd away from her? What is the full form of NTR? Okay, Neutrare. Are you asking the definition of the word? The full meaning of it is not entirely safe for work, and you can look into that word online. But in pop culture right now, it's used more like a funny term of being cheated on. I see that emoji. Maybe you have looked at that word in Google search. I feel amused and sorry for you at the same time. To preface this discussion, I'd like to bring a video of mine from before that aged like milk. Look at this video. Shield versus heal. This is a video of mine in the past. Okay, 3 months ago. Do you know what is the healer's secret weapon? Any taker, what is the healer's secret weapon in Genshin? Alright, in 3, 2, 1. Here's the reveal. FURINA. FURINA is a character that offers immense damage bonus from having a healer in the team. Simply because FURINA is a meta character and FURINA wants a healer in the team. Every team wants FURINA, so every team wants a healer. That is the healer's secret weapon, FURINA. What does a shielder have? They have so buffing. They do not even offer
offer good damage. That is absolutely the state of shielding versus healing in Genshin right now. It's an easy problem to fix. They just need to release better shielder in the game.
Hold on, chat. What is he saying? Daddy, this is not exactly a way to promote myself. This is say, damn it, this video of mine, it's extremely outdated. Hold on, what is he saying, chat?
They need to release a shielder that has some utility like Citlali.
Wait a minute. Have whole universe been listening? A shielder that has utility like Citlali? Citlali heals? Lanyan shield? Wow! Alright, what's more?
A shielder that can buff immensely and can debuff the enemy a lot more.
Wait a minute! Hold on! Hold on! Any of you, who among you is the whole universe spy, huh? Now out yourself right now. FBI open up, yeah? You know what, jokes aside, it's nice that shielding is having a comeback in the meta right now. It's absolutely nice. Yeah, look at the character cast as when I'm making this video right now. Jaska is the newest character. What? You're not the whole your spy TV? Alright, this part 2 in the video, I'm gonna skip forward a little.
I love FURINA. I love her personality. I love what she contributes to the game and how she opens up the playstyle of healing and making risky playstyle of being low HP more rewarding. I love that. But here's the thing. I think she's been dominant in the meta for quite a bit. I would like a new character coming along and shake up the meta a little bit. Because with FURINA, Noelle, alright FURINA, Chlorine, alright FURINA, Gaming, alright FURINA, Hu Tao, FURINA, Navia, FURINA, who else? Kinich, FURINA, Mualani, FURINA, Chaska, FURINA, who else? Wriothesley, Melt Team, put FURINA in anyway, Novelet, FURINA of course, Lini, Vaping FURINA. See what I'm saying? Sino, FURINA, Alhatem, FURINA. Absolutely, she makes the game fun, she makes it open up new playstyle, but I think she's a bit dominant in the meta right now. I would like a new character to come along and dethrone her a little bit. Maybe not absolutely power creeping her because that's also not good for the game, but it's like some character that's on par with FURINA. FURINA!
Alright, that is it for the reminiscent of old video. Let's see where FURINA is today. Boom. We're also gonna look at one specific video. This time it's not from me. I think it's from Joseph. Joseph. I cannot remember which part of his name is Z and which part of his name is J. Jeff. Hold on. Joseph. Oh my god. That's not his name. Fuck. What is his name? Jeff. There we go. Very cool. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? He's a goated content creator in Genshin. I just cannot for the life of me spell his name correctly the first time, okay? Let's prep this tier list. First, we're gonna replicate most of what he's currently having. At the top is gonna be FURINA Supremacy. Switch, and then the no care FURINA, okay? So let's try to put all the DPS of the game into this list and whether FURINA is good for them or not. This is FURINA before patch 5.3. This is the FURINA throne before it was trembling. Does she care FURINA? No care FURINA. Jai, no care FURINA. Yes FURINA. Freeze, no. Yes FURINA. Yes FURINA. Yes FURINA. Eula, honestly, is a switch. Ayaka is a switch. She's FURINA. She's kind of switch. Ito's kind of switch. Ayato's kind of switch because he has his Hyper Bloom team. Tanari is kind of switch. Sometimes he can do Hyper Bloom, Quick Bloom. Sometimes he can do Aggravate. This guy is the same. It's a switch. Aoitam is, I'm gonna put Aoitam honorable over here because his Quick Bloom team with Shinobu and FURINA is just really good. This guy's a switch simply because he cannot really put FURINA in the team with a shield as well, so it's gonna be cope for him. Lini, switch. Novelet's up here. This is the same as Eula, switch. Up here. Gaming up here. Alekino, don't really care for FURINA, sure. She has a lot more team options. Chlorine, switch. This guy, switch. Okay, hold on. Let's hold on Mavuika because she was not released as a 5.2 yet. Okay, this is what the FURINA list looks like. Let me reference here real quick, see if there's any huge discrepancy. Yeah, about right. Okay, this is what we're working with, right chat? This is what we're working with. This is FURINA before anyone dares to touch her throne in the meta, okay? So actually, let me switch some of these colors real quick. The color's gonna make sense in just a bit. FURINA Supreme, cool. Switch, as in meaning kind of flip-flop between FURINA team and other team. It's FURINA team is not really the best for them between Wu and other teams. There we go, we can do that. No care FURINA. Now, let's turn the clock forward and go to patch 5.3. Suddenly, there are new contenders. What's happening? What's happening? Hold on. NTR by Citlali. Let's use this color for a WRIO character. NTR by Mavuika. One single patch, chat. One single patch. All right. Okay. Take a deep breath. We're gonna see some changes. Okay, chat. Take a deep breath. Hold on to your seat. We're gonna see some changes. Chlorine was a switch. She's now NTR by Mavuika. Wriothesley is technically still a switch. Sino, NTR by Mavuika. Ayaka. It's gotta be so funny. NTR by Mavuika. Very cool. Mavuika is melting her damage from off field. Chaska, NTR by Citlali. And Mavuika, both at the same time. Kinich, NTR by Mavuika. Mualani is now a switch. Gaming, NTR by Citlali. Diluc, NTR by Citlali. Pause real quick. After doing more researches, I don't think Citlali actually NTR'd Diluc away from FURINA. Even though the melt reaction is better than vape reaction, Diluc wants to plunge a lot more times than Gaming, and I don't think Citlali cryo application can keep up with it. Who else? Sino needs them Hyper Bloom. Get with the time, Rocker X. Get with the time. Sino is now in Chevres Mavuika slave, alongside with all other electro DPSs. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say that Sino and Setos are on the same boat-ish. They are extremely switched between their Hyper Bloom version, their Aggravate version, and Mavuika version. They perform similarly. They are not as much dependent on FURINA anymore. Yeah, who cares about Sino anymore? Who cares about theory crafting for Sino anymore, right? Me, okay? Sino has gotten a DPS increase by playing with Mavuika because Mavuika does so much damage, so that team does so much damage. Okay, let me double check. Is there anyone else getting NTR by this? Oh, I know. Navia is not really NTR, but now she's a switch. And the most insulting part of all, chat. The most insulting part of all of this. Monsoon Neverland! Monsoon Neverland, no! He's now a switch. The most insulting part of this for FURINA? No, he is now a switch, chat. At C0, he's having good performance in a team with Mavuika, Citlali, and Silonan. From his C1 onward, then FURINA is still good because he's C1. He can use the Hydro in the team without losing much. C0, he's now a switch. Alright, very cool. So from after 5.3, these are the characters that are also added to the team. If there's no Citlali, then Mavuika would be up here, but because there's Citlali, Mavuika is down here. Varessa is an electro DPS. If there is no Mavuika, then she's gonna be here with a team of FURINA and Shanyun plunging. No, Mavuika is in the game. Now, to be honest, it doesn't look as bad, okay? It doesn't look as bad as I kind of meme at the beginning. There are still a large cast of the game that benefits from FURINA and FURINA reigns supreme. But if you happen to just look into the meta as of right now, stronger DPS as of right now, this is one of the stronger DPS. 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 Stronger DPS. What do they have in common? What do they have in common? You tell me, chat. They are not on the FURINA Supreme, bro. This is not entirely fair. I should say this. With investment, this is also one of the stronger DPS. There we go. There. You can see that on this row where FURINA Supreme, she's not claiming ownership or being the best in slot support for the many best DPS in the game anymore. Let us sink in. Let us sink in. In one single patch, patch 5.3, 2 new characters have now been competing with FURINA, which is, I believe, it is healthy for the game. I believe it is healthy that FURINA is no longer needed on both sides of the abyss and they are competitive options, but also know that this is now the case. So that speaks to the value of FURINA currently. She is still a very valuable support. It's just not as much of a huge improvement to an account anymore. If you already have some other good supports in your account, mostly just namely Mavuika, Chavres, Citlali, Silonan. Navia is not one of the strongest DPS. No, she is like just slightly below, just like a smidge below. Is FURINA C2 worth pulling? It depends on what your value is. FURINA C2 will be a strong constellation and will still remain as is. Like look at constellation as a way to make a character still continue to be relevant in the future, right? It's not like, oh, this character at C0 is no longer as good, let me no longer pull for that constellation. That is not always a one-to-one translation. Sometimes a character is no longer good and their constellation is so bad that it's not worth pulling. FURINA is a different case. FURINA support of her constellation are so strong that you can still think of pulling for her constellation as a meaningful increase to an account. FURINA C2 is really good. It specifically helps with team that does not generate a lot of fanfare, teams that has only one single target healer, and maybe that healer is not very good at healing. And also it increases FURINA's personal damage immensely, most notably in WRIO team. I'm gonna say that FURINA C2 is still very worth pulling. It's only depending on where your value lies. Do you prefer having stronger characters in general, vertical investment in general, or would you like to have more characters to play around with? But be aware that having more characters to play around with means you will also need to bench some characters. What do you prefer more to have in the game? Like if you want to clear abyss faster, if you want to clear some hard combat events like the one that is there right now and do bigger damage number, vertical constellation is definitely the way to go. After all that jab about FURINA, let's make the banner. FURINA is still solid in the awesome department for me in terms of character. It's just that her place has been kind of pushed down slightly by Mavuika, Citlali. It's just that this banner in particular, it's a little bit of pain because these 4 stars are not that synergistic with her. I guess Charlotte is somewhat synergistic with FURINA, but in general, FURINA have so much better healer options. So if you're gonna pull for FURINA or FURINA Constellation, I hope that you get the 5-star quickly and then just get out the banner. I'm gonna say this is a good minus banner simply because the 4-star holding it back. Wriothesley banner is decent to decent minus, somewhere between there. And weapons, once again, the 4-star weapons on here are kind of trash. Don't pull for FURINA weapon, pull her Constellation is so much better. If you want Wriothesley weapon, attack increase when HP increase or decrease, normal attack damage will be increased by this and charge attack will be increased by this. Max 3 stack. When 3 stack, attack speed increase. Okay, Catalyst that likes to do normal and charge attack as a main DPS. Clay, sure. Clay FURINA can work. Wanderer, yeah, Wanderer can work. Use this weapon. Wriothesley, obviously. Yaimiko on field can use this weapon with FURINA. Hazel, if you're into that. Ningguang and Yanfei. It's a generally good weapon that can be used on several on-field DPS. It's also good on Varesa. Caveat is that if you're gonna use it on anyone other than Wriothesley, then you need FURINA to enable the HP fluctuation. I'm gonna say this weapon banner is decent. DPS Barbara, let's go. I think the way that Mavuika is becoming one of the better support in many teams is not as satisfying as the way that FURINA is a good support in many teams. Like the way that FURINA and Citlali are becoming good support in teams is because they are buffing the main DPS quite a bit. They are sharing their glory in a way with the other characters in the team. Say if we want to play FURINA with Noelle as an extreme example of a DPS that is not good, then our Noelle is gonna do more damage and that feels good. But say when we use Chlorine with Mavuika, we put Mavuika in because she does so much personal damage and Chlorine still doing the same poo-poo number. The team is just being carried by Mavuika damage. It's not as satisfying of a way to make a team feels good, but it is what it is. Still wish Mavuika could buff more instead of doing more damage herself. Whee! The star of today's discussion. Chat, as usual, I appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I hope that you get a ton of good luck, whether you're trying to snipe someone from the current banner, trying to build pity without actually getting the 5-star on the current banner, or pulling on the next banner like a normal person would. I hope you have a ton of good luck in doing that. Like the stream, chat. Like the stream. It's good for our algorithm. Thank you. What's the execution?